As my great-aunt used to say, miss a train, gain an adventure. Shall we start? Sure, I could lounge in a luxurious train carriage and watch countries go by.
Look at that.
But that's just not me.
So let's jump in.
I'll travel from Paris to Istanbul, via all the major cities along the route of the Orient Express. But I won't let rigid timetables and railway lines dictate terms.
Strasbourg to Munich in 3.7 seconds. It's going to take the rest of the 5 hours for me to get out of this bucket seat.
I wanna know where to go. I wanna know where to go. Tell me everything. I wanna know where to go.
Oh, God.
I wanna know where to go.
Merci, madame.
Are you afraid of heights?
Oh, yeah, I'm afraid of everything. Oh.
You can expect a bumpy ride. For I'm seeking out the most obscure tales
Worth every footstep. Look at it.
and reveling in the wonderful differences between us and our closest neighbours. Come with me on the grandest tour.
Oh, look at this.
I'm just not taking that train. I've been on the road for 3 weeks now, on the trip of a lifetime. Who knew doing one of the world's most iconic train journeys without the actual train could be so fulfilling? Eat your heart out, Michael Portillo.
At last, Istanbul, the final destination of the Orient Express. And of course, we didn't go on that extraordinary mode of transport. We simply followed in its shadow. And I took trains, sure, and buses, and fast cars, and slow cars, and vintage cars, and trams, and tuk-tuks, and a weird glass plate that suspended me hundreds of feet above Vienna. And no one will tell me why, even though I'm still having nightmares about it. Forget about that and enjoy this brilliant sunshine and this extraordinary historical spot where something ends, my journey perhaps, but something beckons, a whole different continent.
And the only thing joining Europe to Asia is this iconic body of water, the Bosphorus Strait. One of the most strategic waterways in the world. Conquering armies have made this crossing over the centuries. I'm taking it easy and going by ferry. Every ship that passes through Istanbul is part of a time-honoured trading tradition, sailing on a waterway that connects the countries of the Black Sea to the rest of the world.
Of course, people have been shipping goods here since we built boats, but most recently with the Ukrainian invasion by Russia, there was such scrutiny on this area because this is where, of course, all the grain moved from Ukraine to the rest of the world. It's very hard for somebody who doesn't live here and who's not an academic to sum up the rich complexity of this particular part of the world. Thankfully, I'm now just one bum shuffle away from Ali, an eminent historian. Hello, Ali.
Hello.
How are you doing, my friend?
Good.
Really good to see you.
Hadi.
So, what's the most important stuff I should know about the Bosphorus and Istanbul?
Evet. Tarihin en kadim şehirlerinden birisi. Son arkeolojik kazılarla milattan önce 8000 yıllara kadar götürülmüştür. Ve İstanbul medeniyetlerin doğu ve batının buluşma noktasıdır, kavşak noktasıdır. Özellikle İstanbul Boğazı'nın...
Thank you, Ali.
Thank you.
But there's another reason to travel the Bosphorus today, to have a look at this landmark.
So, the building behind, currently under scaffold, but the original Orient Express building. But when the route first started, they hadn't quite worked out how to get to Istanbul. So what would happen is you go from Budapest by train to the town of Yurgevo. From there, you'd cross the Danube, then you'd get to a second village called Rushchuk, and then on you'd go on a second train to a Bulgarian town called Varna. Then you would board a boat, which basically also had the train on it, excuse me, beans for lunch, and you'd eventually end up at Constantinople. And we moan at rail replacement bus service. Although, to be fair, the London to Manchester trip is as expensive as the original Orient Express.
That's the history lesson. Although, let's face it, every single step you take in this amazing city yields ancient magic, right down to the most Turkish of delights.
So wandering through the city, of course, you're captivated by the fabulous beauty of things like St. Sophia and the Bazaar and the Blue Mosque. But the child in me, which is, let's face it, 99%, is drawn to the incredible sweet shops. And I've always been fascinated by one thing in particular. I got it as a kid in, it was chocolate-coated, and you bit into it and it leaked this weird, chemical but strangely exotic taste of rose petals. Now it's time to experience the real thing.
This is the home of Turkish delight, a very temple of sugar. And its matriarch Leyla is a fifth-generation sweetie entrepreneur.
Oh. Already, this is my happy place. Hi there.
Hello, Sue.
Good to see you, my lovely.
It's lovely to see you here. Welcome.
It's my pleasure, honestly. Can I just say, I've never lost my love of a sweet shop.
Since I was this big.
This place is much smarter than your average sweet shop. So what do you sell here? What's your speciality?
Our main specialty here is Turkish Delight. We've been producing them for almost 250 years. Right now, I'm in charge of the company as a sixth generation.
Is it the same recipe?
It used to be made with flour and honey. It was my great-grandfather who used cornstarch instead of flour and refined sugar instead of honey.
What do you call Turkish Delight in Turkey?
Actually, it's a short form of Rahatül Hülkum.
Rahatül Hülkum.
Hülkum, I mean, you did great, actually.
Thank
because
you.
It's hard to pronounce it.
I would find it really strange if somebody came to my country and started talking about English delight. I would be creeped by that. Does it freak you out that people have this weird name for it? Because it is a really weird name. Do you know who first started calling it that?
It was an English tourist, they say.
Of course it was. I mean, there's no question. Yeah.
Since we couldn't pronounce Rahatül Hülkum at that time, so it was his naming.
Listen, this is the longest I've been in a sweet shop at any point in my life without raiding everything. Can I try some? Is that okay?
Of course.
Oh,
He's our
as if
chief
by
confectioner.
Talking of Turkish delights. Oh, hello, sir. Oh, I'm going to try that.
First up, Rose Petal Delight.
So delicious. And nothing like what we get at home. Less sweet, more flavour, really aromatic.
This is nice. This is walnuts.
Oh, lovely.
This is my favorite, for example.
And this is double pistachio.
You're watching hypoglycemia happening live here. I've had most of that tray. Is there any way I can see how it's made? Do you
Sure.
have anything? Are you saying I get to
And
step
you can try
behind?
to do it as well.
No way. All right, come on then. I will let you know now that you'll lose most of your profits as we're making it, because that's going to go in my mush. You start the process, my friend.
I mean, usually they're being cut in cubes like that. This is the
Yeah.
classical form, but we have like special form like this one.
The roly-poly, as we'd say in English. Or as we're describing yours, the Turkish roly-poly.
Turkish roly.
That's going to be so delicious.
Would you like to give it a try?
Okay,
Okay.
I'm going to try that. I've got slight heart palpitations. There's about 15 of them. Very good. Sensational. You know it, though, don't you? How long have you been working here?
22 years,
Well, that's why you're the master.
I think.
Seen the master? Here comes the apprentice.
Okay, I try.
And you have to press at the end.
So, Rob, this is the moment where a business that's been going for over 250 years fails. So I roll. Quite a lot of latex in my version.
If these resemble anything like Turkish delight, it will be a miracle.
How come your gloves don't stick?
Clearly, it takes 22 years to perfect the roll.
I've just added a new flavour profile.
Cut.
You be careful of your hands with my terrible cutting. You do need this scimitar, don't you? Because it's quite full on. Not quite good enough, is it? And that's pretty much the feedback I've had all my life. And now we cut. Is that too fat? Yes.
Yeah.
What's the opposite of Turkish delight? Because Turkish misery is what I'm creating. Turkish shame. There you go.
How are you doing?
English people misnamed this, and now they've come here and destroyed the tradition. Mine are absolute rubbish. It's almost as if you have to practice really hard for 20 years. Why are mine so bad?
No, they're not that bad.
Voila, my latex-flavoured Turkish miseries.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Here's where you'll find Turkey in all of its gloriousness. The colour, the sounds, the smells, mainly the food. A cornucopia of exotic deliciousness that comes as a direct result of it sitting on the 4,000-year-old spice road. Do you want a gold ring? You got it. An alluring scent? Tick. A pick-me-up? It's all there. But for the ultimate shot in the arm, there's only one beverage.
Coffee is one of the most powerful drugs in the whole world. I mean, you should see what it does to our brains. Why are we allowed to ingest it on a daily basis and no one complains? Well, because in the capitalist era, they know that it makes us work harder and we don't have to worry about sleeping. So everything is perfectly fine, carry on as normal. Now, it's had an interesting history, coffee. It's sort of changed the world in its own very, very quiet way. Came here, the Ottoman Empire, sort of mid-16th century, and immediately its stimulant properties were noticed by the imams who sought to ban it. But Sultan Suleiman issued a fatwa, and so all was okay. What happened then, of course, I mean, the English call them penny universities. Coffee houses were formed, and it meant that anybody with a brain who didn't have the money to be formally educated or wasn't in politics could sit around and discuss ideas. And sadly, for the Ottoman Empire, one of the ideas they discussed was getting rid of them. Came to London, well, England in general, sort of about a century later, and our coffee houses fermented things like Lloyd's of London and a little-known private company that took over the world called the East India Company. It got to America, and then what happened? The Sons of Liberty sat round, had a cup of joe, and hey presto, chucked our tea in the harbour, and the independence movement was established there. So it's incendiary stuff, and I drink it on the reg, but this is Turkish. This is a whole new ballgame, and this I'm going to need some help with. How are you doing, Sue?
Merhaba Sevgi, hoş geldiniz.
Good to meet you. Now, are you going to show me how this is properly made, please?
Kahveniz nasıl olsun? Sade, orta, şekerli?
With sugar, please.
Sugar.
Oh, that's the eyebrows gone.
Kahvemizi bir tane yapacağımız için sadece bir kaşık koyuyoruz. Şekerli istediği için de 3 tane şeker atıyoruz.
2, 3. Okay.
Sonra suyumuzu koyuyoruz.
That much liquid. Just the flame. So before it would be wood, and now it's gas. There's a lot of gas. So Turkish people drink how many cups of this a day on average?
3 tane, 4 tane.
Wow. It's like gravy. I've never been intimidated by a beverage before. Thank you very much. It's so quick. Thank you. Right. Okay. 2 challenges await. First one, finish this coffee, which the producer tried and said it tastes like garden. And I think that's an excellent... There's definitely a back note of soil. And then this area is famed for its fortune tellers. And whereas we might read tea leaves, here they read coffee grounds. So, bottoms up. Can I just say the cardiovascular effect is immediate. It's like a Van den Graaff generator, but in your ass. started sweating quite heavily. Right. Now, the lovely ladies reach my fortune. Tip. And I move around. And I have to make a wish. I've made my wish. Now, I've got to hope the fortune teller somewhere has actually predicted that there's a tourist sitting and waiting for her.
Just on cue, my fortune teller.
My name's
My name? Sue.
Sue.
Sue.
Okay. Oh,
Oh. Was that a good O or a O? Do you think my multiple affairs will ever be found out? I'm joking.
Maybe that doesn't translate so well. Either way, out come the tarot cards.
şöyle. 1, 2, 3.
Ah, cut 3 times.
Okey. Hangisini açayım? Okay.
Oh, High Priestess. Oh, Queen of Wands.
I'm saying words like Queen of Wands. I don't really know what they mean. Here comes my fortune.
Bir ev değişikliği yapacaksınız bu arada. Araba
Driving?
yapacaksınız. Ha, aha. Çok gezeceksin, dolaşacaksın. Bayağı bir yorulacaksın.
Oh, I have travelled so much.
More cards. I like it. This is going very well, I think.
Çok güzel. Gerçekten.
But then, shockingly, something that only myself and an ENT specialist know about.
Gel. Gel. Şura. Bak. Bura. Bura.
Well, whatever that was, it's really weird because I have such terrible pain in my ear. I do, here. That's really weird. Yeah, here. I have ringing in my ears the last 3 days.
Kulak.
Kulak.
Orta kulak.
Is there water in there?
Yani bir süre sonra akmaya başlayacak. Bir de diş etleri.
Yeah, I groined my teeth. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you.
That was kind of hard to understand because A, I don't speak Turkish, and B, even if I could, my brain is racing and my heart rate's similar to that of a shrew. But I got bits of it, which is basically thumbs up. And you know what? I really get the order of things now here. You know, you have your coffee and it's bitter and the grounds are really thick. So you wash it down with a delicious rose-scented lozenge. And then someone comes along and tells you a fortune. And she was brilliant. And most of it was true. She said, I've got ringing ears and it's because I grind my teeth. That's all true. I travel for work. That's all true. The only thing she said was I'd hurt my foot. So, I mean, ludicrous. Ow, my foot!
Istanbul is the most visited city in the world, not only by tourists, but also by these furry critters. Some estimate 4 million of them live in Istanbul alone.
Hello, do I need a ticket for entry? Thank you.
I've been invited to meet Fatih, who has founded an entire museum dedicated to the deep relationship between Istanbul locals and street cats.
I'm
Thank
Sue,
you.
good to
and
see you.
Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Already
you.
I'm in love. Who's this beauty?
His name is Ponyo.
Gorgeous. Everywhere I look, there are kittens. Just in the streets, in little
It's
cafes.
the season, actually.
It is the season. So how many cats will get born in the season?
162,000 around street cats.
162,000 street
Yeah,
cats.
but we believe it's more than that. This is one of the reasons that we opened, just to prove the Istanbul people, the city itself, and the cats has a huge history because of the port. you know, Silk Road, Spice Road, they're all coming here. All ships has a cat inside against rodents. And also the port. When they keep the stuff, they need always a cat, just to, against the rodents again.
Yeah.
It was this symbiotic friendship between the cats and sailors that made the felines call Istanbul home.
People of Istanbul, I think there's an effect when they just feed them and take care of them. It's they become a friend to the people. That's why I say half wild, because most of the cats, especially the female cats, when they find a good shopkeeper, they
That's
never
it.
leave.
No, why would you? But you guys seem to actively encourage, like, the more beautiful kittens, the better, because it's good luck, it's fun, they're your sort of emblem, and they keep, presumably there's no rats anywhere in Istanbul. I mean, there
Yeah,
can't
that's
be any
for
alive.
sure.
That's it,
Since
168,000.
centuries,
Yeah.
I can easily say that. I've been living in Istanbul 26 years now. I think I saw once.
Well, I'd swap rats for cats any day. It's clear these mogs are the heart and soul of the city. Wow, they must spend a fortune on kitty litter.
Seems to me, I've got the gen on the secular notion of cats and why they're so important in Istanbul, but I don't have the spiritual side. For that, I'm going to need a religious leader. And hey, presto, by the power of television, Ibrahim, hello.
Hello.
Good to see you. Can I join you? Oh, for a start, this is such a beautiful place.
Yes.
What's the name of this mosque?
Yeni Mosque.
Yeni Mosque. And when was this one built?
Yeni cami 16. yüzyılda 3. Murat zamanında temeli atılan bir cami.
So the first thing I notice is this beautiful black and white cat here that people are bending down and stroking. So tell me about the significance of cats in Islamic tradition.
İslam peygamberi Hazreti Muhammed sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem bizden tüm canlılara karşı merhametle, şefkatle ve sevgiyle yaklaşmamızı ister. Bu canlılar içerisinde kedilere de Peygamberimiz çok büyük önem vermiştir. Hüseyin Rahmi Gürpınar'dan Tomris Uyar'a kadar birçok edebiyatçımız kedilere olan sevgilerini, kedilere olan hislerini, dolayısıyla kediler bu şehrin kültürü, özgünlüğü, kısacası her şey.
Of course, the iconic Orient Express route ends here in Istanbul. And I'm sure you've paid your money, you've worn your sequin ball gown, you've had a right old time and you're happy. But for me, the end of that journey is merely the start of a brand new adventure.
So seeing the Victorian terminus on the Bosphorus in Istanbul got me thinking. After a fairly tortuous journey getting to that point, that's it. You're on your own. They had no plans, I guess, as to what to do. They just showed you the road ahead. It's like, well, there you go. The Orient awaits. Where you go now, you're on your own. And I've taken the next and final step of this trip exactly in that spirit. I thought, where do I want to go? And I wanted to go to the desert.
Surrounded by extinct volcanoes, Cappadocia has some of the most unique and incredible landscapes you'll ever see. And joining me, one of the most unique and incredible tour guides you'll ever meet, Emre.
Do tourists come here?
Yeah.
Do any of them make it back alive?
But before we start this four-wheel drive tour of Cappadocia's rocky desert region, Emre insists he throw in certain inclusions not available to the everyday tourist.
Hey, my friend, I'm Sue.
Oh, hello.
Nice to
again.
see you.
Nice to
Sorry,
meet
I'm
you.
aware that I've got a very
yes,
sweaty
very
hand.
hot. Sorry.
Just slipping.
Not so much carpool karaoke as off-road horning. I think it could catch on.
That sounded beautiful. What was that?
About music? Mm-hmm. Yeah, music is a hobby for me.
It's just a hobby.
Yes. I love Cappadocia.
It's like a sort of desert Ibiza, I think,
Yes. Yes.
but with way more ancient history. So, where are we going today?
Today I'm gonna show you two different valleys. And the first place is Üzengi Valley. Not so crowded. You know, we have really good views. Relax, no traffic.
Yeah, sure. Just gonna relax. Just relax.
Yeah, my friend.
But be careful.
Adrenaline. Is this the first valley?
Yeah.
Yes.
Look at this. What's this place?
This is we are calling Üzengi Valley.
Okay, and what's it
Yeah.
famous for?
You see, people was living here. It was maybe 10,000 years ago. And you see there also small bugs and, they have also a lot of pigeons to send message to other city.
Did they?
Yeah.
They were pigeon
No
fanciers.
WhatsApp. You can see from everywhere, the cave is so easy to open your house with spoon, with any...
No. They made this with spoons?
Yeah,
No.
like spoon, I mean. So
Knife?
easy to make it.
When you say like a spoon, do you mean a
Yeah.
knife? Like a knife. I feel this is a beautiful place. Seeing as we've got the maestro here, I want to feel something of Anatolia, I want to feel the ancestors, the spirits. Could you play something?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yes, of course.
If you haven't been on tour with a saxophone player before, really encourage you to give it a go.
There were some jazz licks in there, which I like. I love this place. I just love the ambition of human beings. As soon as somebody popped a spoon, it wasn't a spoon, a fork. Someone pricked the landscape with a fork. They thought, hang on, there's a cave dwelling to be had here. Right, where to next, my friends?
We're gonna go second valley, maybe.
Which
Yeah.
valley is this one?
Yeah, there is some water there.
Oh.
It's coming from the underground.
Okay.
You can try to drink.
Have you tried to drink?
Of course, I tried. First, I'm gonna try. If I don't die, you can try. Okay?
All right, let's go.
Yeah,
let's drink
let's
some
go.
magic water.
Yeah.
After a hot day in a car, I'm really looking forward to this. Oh, an oasis awaits. Palms swaying in the breeze. Some cool, clear, clean water I can soak my feet in. I'll drink deep. Oh, I can't wait.
Oh. Do you know what? I've had backache for about 6 months. Something just clicked. I feel like $1 million now. Oh, it's just gone again. Okay.
Local people are coming here to get water from here.
So there's a hot spring?
Yeah.
So it comes straight from the ground, from the earth?
Yeah, you're gonna see. Shura. Yeah, this one. It's coming.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Won't lie. Not what I expected.
I see. You think it's big water?
Big water?
Yes.
This is marvelous.
Surprise.
I don't know what I was expecting. Possibly an effervescent hot mineral spring. A geyser, an erupting natural force of nature. Or something ornate and beautiful, like the Trevi Fountain. But what I actually got was... Right, I'm gonna have some of that. I've come all this way. Are you gonna try some? Go on, gentlemen first in this situation.
Sure.
When it's a health and safety issue, I always like to...
Yeah. Your turn.
It takes longer than that, the effects of it.
So different, right?
It's so different. What's it supposed to be good for, apart from making you feel relieved you have sanitized water at home?
You're gonna feel younger.
Right. It may be anecdotal, but at my age, you get it where you can. It really bounces on the tongue, doesn't it? Fizzy.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Taste-wise, it's sort of iron brew without the sugar. I actually quite like it. It's quite addictive. I'll have a pint, please.
Yeah.
Sometimes good things do come in small packages. Hang on a sec, my arthritis is gone.
And with that miracle, time to see the most unique aspect of Cappadocia. The towering, oddly shaped rocks known as fairy chimneys.
So this is Love Valley, and you can see the very distinctive rock formations behind me, which were created essentially by both volcanic activity and natural erosion to form these columns. What's really powerful about this place is the legend that precedes it, and that's a legend that goes from Roman times, really, about two warring dynasties that fought in this place. And over the years, they could never settle their differences, so eventually they elect one leader from each side, one man, one woman, and they meet at this tribal council, and they instantly fall passionately in love. And much as the villagers protest, these two people eventually are allowed to get married, and they have a child. But somehow this isn't enough. The dynasties cannot reconcile. War breaks out again, and the husband is killed. And his young wife, in all that trauma and sadness, kills herself. And ancient lore has it that these very distinctive stones were created when the gods threw them down in fury at anyone who could dare to disbelieve in the power and magic of young love.
Hey, looks like a dick.
Oh, do you know? Oh, he's got a point.
Time to go to Aenus Valley, I think. Turkey is littered with ruins, and to be honest, they have a fairly haphazard approach to them. It's a bit like, oh yeah, there's another one, there's a Roman one, there's a Greek one, there's a Persian one. This, however, is something different. This is an entire underground city, right next to a car park. It's like me building a water park and going, oh look, there's the lost city of Atlantis.
This is the largest underground city in the world. And thankfully for me, local legend Levent is going to take me around.
How did people find this cave?
Actually, already known by the local. They were using as a storage till 1960s. In 1964, the government opened this cave as a museum. But before, 4,000 years ago, 2000 before Christ, Hittites used to live underground cave for hiding, to protect themselves from their enemies, like bunker.
So it was a secret bunker?
Yes, like a shelter.
So who was the enemy of the Hittites?
Assyrians and Phrygians.
So obviously this is a massive tourist attraction, but do you know any secret spots that no one goes to?
Yes, I'm local.
Okay.
That's why. It was my playground. When I was a student at high school, the age of 15, 16, I came here with my girlfriend. Best place for young couples.
That might be too much information.
Listen, you lead on. You lead on. Show me the secret places.
Follow me, please.
Is your girlfriend still here somewhere?
I already married.
Oh, you married her?
Yes,
That's good.
10 years ago.
10 years?
Yes, game over.
Oh, apparently game over. He's married her now. Wow. This is unbelievable.
Yes, like a maze.
This underground city drops 85 meters below ground and spreads for kilometers. No wonder Levent and his now wife had their pick of love nooks.
So you know way more than most people because you know the really secret stuff. You and your girlfriend have seen things we can only wonder at.
Yes.
In all ways.
Because
all
here,
ways.
this town, very traditional place, the people are conservative. That's why we have to escape the secret. We couldn't meet a cafeteria or different places, that's why.
You see,
here's
that's the
best
difference
point.
between you and me. You had a beautiful UNESCO heritage site occupied by 4,000 BC sort of dwellers as your special sex pad, whereas I had a car park in Croydon in South London. That is the difference between us, my friend. That's what living in the metropolis does.
These caves have certainly seen some interesting sights. Designed to conceal up to 20,000 people, they had bedrooms, churches, wine cellars, even an intricate ventilation system to provide everyone with fresh air.
This place was used as a kitchen.
This is extraordinary. I love cooking, so this one's my favorite, but because I can also see the human activity. If I lived in the cave, if I had to be in the cave, this would be my spot.
Yes, your favorite.
Yeah.
And the centerpiece of this kitchen, a giant mortar and pestle used to grind grains.
It's warm, the fire's raging, and I can just crush some stuff. Yeah.
Yes, master chef.
Master Chef Hittite.
These aren't just caves. They're subterranean kingdoms. Everything mapped out, everything ordered. There is one thing I can't stop thinking about.
When's the best time to talk about the toilet?
There's no toilet inside. They didn't have bathroom. But how did they go? Each family had own pot, clay pot, chamber pot. They accumulated.
Like a turd tagine.
Like compost toilet. They also added ash. They covered with ash to kill smell. And they took it out through the shaft.
Oh, that's a job, isn't it?
Was popular technique.
Where to next?
Follow me, please.
It's somewhat mind-boggling how people navigated this rabbit warren. Talking of which, where's Levent?
Levent. Levent. Levent. Just in there with his wife. I'm just going to give them a few seconds. So sorry. Old habits die hard. Hello. I'm ready for my pot now.
After all that excitement,
Has anyone got any ash? And a pulley. And, oh, God.
the sun is yet to rise, and one final adventure awaits.
So it's 4:30 in the morning, which is the sort of time milkmen bowl cats. The only reason I'd be getting up at this time normally is if there was a home invasion or if my dog had been sick. But there's a reason for it, and it's the most beautiful reason on earth. I'm gonna go up in one of these. Sure, I've done the normal stuff. I've done the buses and the trains and the trams. I've done a tuk-tuk. I've done everything pretty much. But this seems like a Jules Verne moment that I simply cannot wait for. Look at that.
And there it is, possibly the most famous site in Cappadocia. Hundreds of people coming together, taking in a view that is breathtaking.
We have liftoff. It's interesting to think that in the space of 4,000 years, we've gone from hiding in elaborate caves to flying in sort of huge latex hot air balloons. I think it's progress. I think that's progress.
This rocky landscape is like nothing I've ever seen before. And being up in the balloon gives me a chance to reflect on the insane journey I've been on, travelling through an entire continent.
I've had this adventure. It's been whistle-stop. Maybe I've not been able to go as deep sometimes as I'd like, but that's not the point of the Orient Express. The point of the Orient Express is it hurtles like a bullet. You stop, you have an experience, you get back on, you move, and you keep on moving, and that's what I've done.
I've seen everything it has to offer, from ooh la la to papa, from a croissant bigger than my head to dumplings. Frankly, I'm still struggling to digest. I've heard music, danced the sophisticated waltz,
Oh my God, I'm dying, I'm so dizzy.
felt the joy and energy of a Romany band, and partied on top of a hot spring.
I like CJ.
I haven't rushed. I've taken some time. Meeting people who make these cities what they are today. From children running entire railways to individuals just opening their doors and allowing me to experience something of their culture.
Oh God.
I've faced my fears
Yeah, baby!
and seen things I never would have got to, but I made that train. And what a way to appreciate the Victorian forebears who built these extraordinary railway lines to indulge a love affair with exploration.
And I think there's something in movement that they got right. Nowadays, when you say, where are you going for your holiday? It's one place. You go, you come back. Maybe we've lost the spirit of adventure. And that is what I think the Victorians knew everything about. Admittedly, mainly because they were trying to colonize everything they came across, and I've not done that. So, next time I travel, I'll be a bit more Jules Verne. Maybe I'll go further than my original itinerary. Maybe I'll just mooch around the borders. Or maybe I'll just draw a line in a map and hurtle straight for it. Talking of which, there's a northeasterly breeze, which means if we carry on going, I'm going to be in Georgia. This has been a truly peak experience. But in the spirit of the Victorians, we must get off, get some potted shrimp inside us and move on to the next one. Come on.